Slash and burn, return, listen to yourself churn. Locking in, uniform and book, burning blood, letting every motive escalate. Automotive incinerate, light a candle, light a motor, step down, watching heel, crush, uh-oh, this means no fear. Cavalier, renegade, steer clear, tournament of lies. Offer me solutions, offer me alternatives, and I decline. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. The other night I drifted nice, continental drifted by mountain, sit in a line. Leonard Bernstein, Leonard Brezhnev, Lenny Bruce and Lester Banks, birthday party, cheesecake, jelly bean, boom, you symbiotic, patriotic, slam, button, that, right? Right. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine.
Ah, yes. It's the end of the world as we know it. Welcome to Music for the End of the World. I'm Chris, and you're listening to 93.7 Edge FM, Bega Community Radio. And it is Wednesday the 4th. I know that because my anniversary was yesterday. And it's getting closer to Christmas, and I have two guests in the studio tonight. Of course, one is my beautiful partner, Cass, and the other one is a very dear old friend, actually one of my oldest friends I know. Kat, how you going, Kat?
How you going?
Welcome,
nice
welcome.
to be here.
Thank you. And you're almost a local down here in the Bega Valley,
Almost.
Kat.
I've been here for over 30 years.
All right.
So I could say I'm a local.
Well, you're getting close. You're
a
getting
local
close.
yokel
A local yokel. Excellent.
from Sydney.
Yeah, from Sydney.
Originally.
Yeah, me too, originally.
Yeah.
We actually lived next to each other, didn't we,
did.
Kat?
We lived next door to each other when I was born.
That's right.
Longest person I've known all my life,
Yeah.
next to my family.
I used to toddle into your place in my nappies. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. And you've brought some lovely music in too
I
tonight.
have,
I don't know
yeah.
we'll get through all of them, but we will
It's
try.
really hard trying to pick only a handful of songs, so I'll come back again.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
again.
let's start off then straight away with a song before I get into some collapse news. And the one you wanted to play first was
Born to Be Alive?
Born to Be Alive.
I wanted to play that because if it's the end of the world, then we might as well live every minute. And Born to Be Alive makes me feel alive.
Yes, that's
Make
right.
the most of every minute.
Absolutely. Good philosophy, Kat.
Yes.
I think it's come out, was this in the 80s?
I like to bring a bit of positivity to the end of the world.
Oh, excellent, excellent. I think it was 80s, wasn't
It's
it?
a great film clip, so if you ever want to have a laugh, have a look at the film clip on YouTube. It's quite
All right,
funny.
so here we go. Born to Be Alive by...
The Outfits rock.
I've got here Patrick Hernandez.
Yeah.
Is that the dude?
That's it.
All right. Enjoy, people. Born to be alive.
Have a boogie in the kitchen, guys.
Born to be Alive, Patrick Hernandez. From the 80s, I'm pretty sure that song was. And my special guest, Kat, is here with myself, Chris, and Cass as
It's been hot in here
well.
after that dance.
Yes. I remember that blaring out in Oxford Street in the 80s.
I used to go there quite a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we start, I always start off with a few bits of collapse news, and let's have a look at the temperature, because here we got headlines: countdown to an ice-free Arctic. Research warns of accelerated timelines. The first summer on record that melts practically all of the Arctic sea ice is very, very close, and it's going to be an ominous milestone for the planet. And it could occur as early, these scientists say, as 2027. That's in 3 years. 2 years, really. It's almost 2025.
Those polar bears are coming.
And of course, you know, the first loss of sea ice won't change things dramatically, says Jan, an associate professor in the Department of Atmospheric and Oceanic Sciences and a fellow at CU Boulder's Institute of Arctic and Alpine Research. But he says it will show that we've fundamentally altered one of the defining characteristics of the natural environment in the Arctic Ocean, which is that it is covered by sea ice and snow ice year-round. And we will have done that through greenhouse emissions. So that's the Arctic, and we all know why that happens, because it's not going to reflect all the heat back. It's going to absorb more. It's like a loop. Japan. recorded its warmest autumn since records began 126 years ago. That's from the Weather Agency. And it's delayed the country's popular displays of seasonal foliage in December. This year was 1.97 degrees Celsius higher than usual. 1.97, almost 2 degrees, making it the hottest autumn since 1898, when they began measuring it, the Japanese Meteorological Agency said. Between September and November, the temperature was 2.4 degrees Celsius higher than usual in Tokyo. So pretty big. And I remember there were lots of headlines about no snow on Mount Fuji for a long, long time. And then it had a fall, then it melted again. So I don't know whether there's snow on Mount Fuji at the moment or not. Where else has it been hot? Well, it's been hot in Australia. We've sweated through our hottest spring on record. Temperatures soared 2.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. And it's only the second time that the 2.5 barrier has been breached for an entire season, going back to 1910 when reliable national averages were first available. So that's in Australia. It has been pretty hot, although today was a bit cooler.
Yeah, it was cold today.
Yeah, it was cooler today.
The weekend's going to get pretty hot again, though.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to rain on
hot weather.
Saturday more.
Sunday I think it's going to be
downfall,
32 or
which
something
is
like
good. I
that.
don't mind the rain, we need it.
Yeah. So it's been pretty hot. And here's a quote from Gus Spurth, who was the former dean of the Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Studies. And he said, and this is his quote, "I used to think that the top global environmental problems were biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse and climate change. And I thought that with 30 years of good science, we could sort of address these problems. But I was wrong. The top environmental problems today, selfishness, greed and apathy. And to deal with these, we need a spiritual and cultural transformation. And we scientists don't know how to do that."
Aren't we coming into the age of Aquarius? Is that now?
I'm not sure.
Doesn't that mean that it's going to happen?
I don't know, but the exponential curve isn't looking good.
I don't know. I think it's a great quote. I saw that on the near-term extinction website and thought it was incredibly, incredibly clear-sighted, and just to realise that exactly that. I think we've talked about it before, is the fact that the changes that need to be made.
A system changes.
The greed. With
And well, you know, capitalism.
power, the
It ain't
people
going to
with
happen.
power that
It ain't
don't
going to
care.
happen. We still need to, you know, measure things with GDP. They can't think outside the box. That's the downside of it. All right, well, that's the sort of few pointers there for the collapse news that's been happening during the week. I will be talking a little bit more about water scarcity later on in the show, and I have a few quiz questions for my guests to see if they know much about fresh water. But let's have some more music. Kat, what are we going to listen to now?
Okay, what have we got on the list?
Oh, we've got lots of good ones.
What about Fade to Grey, Visage?
Fade to
That's
Grey.
an oldie.
Visage.
I'm playing a few old.
Another 80s, I think.
Yeah, one from back in the day.
All right. Used to play it at the nightclubs you used to go to, Kat?
Yeah, I used to hear it a lot.
All right.
These are stuff I haven't heard for a long time, so. I don't
All
know.
right,
People
Fade
out
to
there might like
Grey.
it.
Fade to Grey by Visage. I think,
Well, what about the Paul Kelly song?
would you like the Paul Kelly song
Yeah,
first?
play that first, because that's a good one.
Yes. Well, I do like all those Triple J like
Yeah,
versions.
this is- Yeah, Dumb Things.
Paul
Triple J
Kelly.
like a version, Paul Kelly with AB.
AB original, yes. It is a good one.
It's my favourite.
All right, here you go, people. Dumb Things. Or maybe not. I don't know why that's not
Okay.
playing. Let's do Visage and we'll see.
Yeah, go.
Fade to Grey. Hopefully this one will come up. So this is Fade to Grey, Visage.
Yeah.
What is happening now? There's a gremlin in here.
Could it be
Nothing's
the mute
playing.
button? It might be playing on the outside. It might be.
It should be coming through. Okay, I'm going to try another one. I'm going to try another one. Babe, you wanted a Van Morrison song, Sweet Thing. Let's see if
Sweet
this
Thing,
one...
Astral Weeks.
Yeah, surely this one will be all right. Nothing's working at the moment. I'll have to go to the CD machine, I suppose. Yeah. Put on a track from the CD. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, let's have a look and see. This is... What song is this one?
Sweet Thing.
Oh, it is Sweet Thing by
Van the Man.
Van the Man. All right. And what's the album called?
Astral Weeks.
Astral Weeks. Oh, is that from Astral Weeks? I thought I recognised it. Okay. Track 3, Sweet Thing. All right, let's hope this goes.
And I was strung a merry way and jumped the hedges first. And I will drink the clear, clean water for to quench my thirst. And I'll show out the ferry boats and they'll get high on the blue ocean against tomorrow's sky. And I will never grow so old again. And I will walk and talk in gardens all wet with rain. Oh, oh. Sweet thing, sweet thing. Yeah. Sweet thing. I shall drive my chariot down your streets and cry. Oh, it's me, I'm dynamite, and I don't know why. And you shall take me strongly in your arms again. And I won't remember that I ever felt the pain. We shall walk and talk in gardens all misty wet with rain down. And I will never grow so old again. Ooh, 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 the sweet thing. You sweet thing, sweet thing. My. And I will raise my hand up into the nighttime sky. A kind star that shines in your eyes. Just to dig it all, not to wonder, that's just right. And I'll be satisfied not to read in between the lines. And I will walk and talk in gardens all wet with rain. And I will never, ever grow so old again. Sweet thing. Sugar baby. Sugar baby, sugar baby, sugar baby. What is champagne I had?
That was Sweet Thing by Van Morrison. Something's wrong here. I don't know what it is, but some of the music we won't be able to play, so we'll have to go with other songs.
We'll have to have a look at the CD collection.
Yes, you can have a look at the CD collection. I
Do you
don't.
have past the dodgy?
No, I can't. Nothing's working. I don't know why. What is it that's
You
happened?
got Rodriguez.
Yeah, I got Rodriguez.
That's good.
Anyway, we'll see. All right. Unfortunately, yeah, it's a shame, Kat. We can't have all those
It took
songs.
me so long to get a playlist.
What were you going to say? What are you going to talk about? Haven't you got a YouTube channel?
Oh, I do have a YouTube channel. It's called Katrina Walsh Creates.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only just started it a few months ago. I'm only up to about 400 and something subscribers, so anyone out there, subscribe. It's got a bit of everything, which I'm starting to realise now that it'd probably get more popular if I just had one subject.
All right.
So I've got a lot of travelling in there. I'm rebuilding an old HJ 1975 HJ Monaro,
Okay.
and I've got some footage of that happening, the progress of that, my trip in Bali, just bits and pieces.
All right.
And then I started one the other day, which I've got nothing on, but that'll be called Surf Frothers.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to make it mainly surfing. We had the weekend at the indoor, the surf wave, what do you call it?
The wave machine.
Yes, in Olympic Park in Sydney.
Oh, and you went to that on the weekend, right?
Yeah, we drove to Sydney and my partner surfed and I did lots of videoing. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
So how long is a wave? How long can you...
Oh, they get about 12 waves. They have an hour.
Oh, okay.
And there's different time slots. So, you know, for beginners and advanced and experts. And we had to actually book for 11 o'clock at night.
Oh.
And he paid $100 and he's a very good surfer. So the waves were about 3 foot, but they're perfect little barrels.
Oh, right.
Is that the expert level?
Yes. No, Brad did the advanced, and I think he thought it was better. The expert is just barrels, and the advanced is you get turns and barrels, you know, different waves. So he really loved it. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, and so having 10 people, a group of about 10 or 12 people.
All right.
At a time, and you get about 12 waves, and you don't have long to wait for the wave.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what happens if you wipe out on a wave with 10 people on it? So
Yeah,
it's wide
no,
enough?
not 10 at a time. They're
okay.
like lined up.
You
and
get
then
one turn, you get the wave to yourself.
they get up, and the wave it just picks them up. They go and then it takes them. The little rip takes them back to where they're meant to go at the beginning of the line. Works out really well if you're a surfer. Yeah, I don't surf, but
Oh.
I like
Sounds
to take
like
photos.
fun.
I really wanted to hop in the pool though. That was a bit annoying. And there's a bar there if you want to have a drink while you're waiting. And yeah, we did it was 11 o'clock. We finished at midnight. Goes from 7 in the morning or 6 in the
Oh, wow. It
morning
goes till midnight.
till midnight. Yeah,
So surfing under lights.
yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
So I tried to get a lot of footage for my surfing channel, and that'll be Surf Frothers. I actually made it and then put a video up last night, and then I couldn't find it, so I deleted the video. But
All right.
Katrina Walsh Creates, that's my other one. I've got a lot of stuff from. I had some time in Queensland recently, and my brother races the Super Ute series.
Okay.
It's the same, and they race just before the V8 supercars in the supercar series.
Yeah.
And my partner also works for the supercars as a chef, so we went up there and he had to work, and I got lots of footage and in the pits, and so there's a bit of that too if you're into your cars.
All right.
Yeah, and I've got an Instagram handle with Katrina Walsh Photography. So that's what I do.
Okay.
I'm a photographer.
Excellent, Kat. Yes, I
Local
know.
photographer. I don't do weddings.
No.
I say that proudly. It's a bit stressful.
And you use your drone in a lot of your
Yeah,
photography too.
Yeah, I do.
All
I
right.
love flying the drone.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
All right, time for some of our sponsors. It's 7:26 here on 93.7 Edge FM. We have Tathra Tyres and Fair Dinkum Builds.
Tathra Tyres and Auto have been servicing motor vehicles in Tathra since 1993. Ron, Paddy and Matt are proud supporters of Bega's community radio station, 93.7 Edge FM.
You might be familiar with Coastal Country Sheds and Garages, but now you'll notice the name has changed to Fair Dinkum Builds Bega Valley. A little change that goes a long way for our customers. We'll always be your local experts when it comes to building commercial premises with flexible builds, quality material and great service. And we're stepping things up even further. For you, for keeps. Search Fair Dinkum Builds today or drop by and see us at 3 West Street, North Bega.
Fair Dinkum Builds Bega Valley is a long-time sponsor of 93.7 Edge FM.
All right, thank you, sponsors. Without them, we would not be here. Okay, I think we're going to have a couple of tunes from Rodriguez, Rich Folks Hoax, and Jane S. Pity, I think, is the second one. Yeah, it is Rodriguez.
Moon is hanging in the purple sky. Baby's sleeping while its mother sighs. Talking about the rich folks. Rich folks have the same jokes, and they park in basic places. The priest is preaching from a shallow grave. He counts his money, then he paints you safe. Talking to the young folks. Young folks share the same jokes, but they meet in older places. So don't tell me about your success, nor your recipes for my happiness. Smoking bed, I never could digest. Those illusions you claim to have going. The sun is shining as it's always done. Carbon dust is a base of everyone. Talking about the rich folks. The poor create the rich hoax, and only late breastfed fools believe it. So don't tell me about your success, nor your recipes for my happiness. Smoking bed, I never could digest. Those illusions you claim to have going. My pocket don't drive me fast. My mother treats me slow. My statue's got a concrete heart. But you're the coldest bitch I know. In the factory that you call your mind, graveyard thoughts of stone. A master thief, I wouldn't enter there. You've nothing I would get on, so help me. Pretending that you got it made. You know I know you know no truth. You're still serving cookies and Kool-Aid. You're so proper and so cute. My pocket don't drive me fast. My mother treats me slow. My statue's got a concrete heart. But you're the coldest bitch I know, so help me.
That was Rodriguez with Crucify Your Mind was the last one. What was the first one? Forget now. I've got too many gremlins in here. But I've managed to fix a problem, you'll be pleased to know. It was a simple thing. It's called the volume switch.
I did say the mute button. I was close.
Yes, you were close. It wasn't the mute button. It was the volume. Yeah. Okay, cool. We can get back to dumb things. But before we do, I just want to talk about a little bit about fresh water. The headline was Global Water Crisis Leaves Half of the World Food Production at Risk in the Next 25 Years. Landmark Review says urgent action needed to conserve resources and save ecosystems that supply fresh water. Do you know, where is it saying, how much water is we need as a healthy human? I think how much we need for one day or...
Isn't it like 2 litres?
And are you talking about just personal use? Or are you talking about water to produce the kinds of things that we eat and wear?
Yeah, like how you, for your life, how much water would you think you need? I'm just trying to find it now. Whereabouts is it?
At the moment, we don't have any water pressure at home anyway, so...
No, well, that's why this rain is
We're
really
not using
nice.
much.
Yeah. This rain has been really, really good.
And with the expense, our water bills seem to be getting bigger and bigger. Yes.
Yeah. So, it says here that before they used to say, the UN used to say, 50 to 100 litres a day are required for each person's health and hygiene. So just for your health and hygiene.
50 to 100 litres per
50
person.
to 100 litres a day.
Okay, so that's
But that is
washing,
way off.
cooking.
That is way off. I'm telling you now, that's way off. Give me a number. What do you reckon? In fact, the Commission found now that people require how many litres a day in order to have adequate nutrition and a dignified life? Obviously, flushing toilets,
People that don't
shower.
Water usage, probably 500 litres.
Keep going.
1,000.
Keep going.
2,000.
4,000 litres a day.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot.
That's crazy.
I know, that
That's
seems a lot,
crazy.
doesn't it?
But I think, are you sure that's not to do with like growing, like if you're watering gardens and
Well, it just
growing
says
crops?
they require 4,000. A person requires 4,000 litres a day in order to have adequate nutrition and a dignified life. And of course, that volume can't be achieved in most places.
Well, in a lot of places, there's certainly you're not going to get that amount of water.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a lot of water that we need. And I'll go into that a little bit further about some of the problems affecting fresh water.
Can I just ask, have you heard about the...
Come a bit
I
close to the
saw
mic.
something recently about if you've got dams on your property, you've got to tell the council now.
What?
But is
Yeah,
that for
it was-
fire?
it
Is that
was-
for fires? Is that
Well,
so they can
and
actually
so they
access
can
an
charge
emergency?
you more money for water, and obviously access. That was the first thing I thought about. It was on one of our local marketplace
Oh.
pages or something like that, and
Because I was just talking to someone on the weekend, and they were saying that you can get grants to build dams on your
well,
property.
This was saying that if the council want to know how many dams you've got on your property, and I don't think it's their business.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they need to know, because I think they're going to be charging you for it.
Maybe.
And obviously, you know, when we've had so many fires, obviously they need to know for access. But, you know, if you've already got one that's registered, then, you know.
Oh.
And that was the argument a lot of people were having.
Okay.
I just had a brief look at it
Oh, okay.
when it popped up.
I will
Yeah,
keep my eyes
so we
open
might-
for
yeah,
that.
I might try and find it again, that chat.
All right, well, we've got the ground sorted. We're going to go with Dumb Things. Finally. Paul Kelly and AB Original. Oh, well, we will be very soon as the right...
A simple matter of plugging in the...
As soon as the
Because
right
he's got
plugs...
two beautiful women
Wow,
sitting in front
I'm a
of
little
him.
bit distracted, I've got to
He's
say.
very distracted.
I've got distracted. Let's try again. Here they are. Paul Kelly, AB Original.
Welcome strangers to the show. I'm the one who should be lying low. Saw the knives out, turned my back, heard the train coming, stayed right on that track. In the middle, in the middle, in the middle of a dream. I lost my shirt, I pawned my rings. I've done all the dumb things.
Yeah, them dumb things. This going out to my brothers down there in Dundale, dealing with that disaster that them guards are there and not jail. Thinking we getting that welfare, huh? Thinking we getting that healthcare, huh? Think about if it was your son. Now think about sending some help there. Yeah, what's dumber than that, mate? What's dumber than dressing up blackface? What's dumber than doing it knowing it hurts and don't even work to make that change? Let's go.
In the middle, in the middle, in the middle of a dream. I lost my shirt, I pawned my rings. I've done all the dumb things.
We got islands for the ones who seeking asylum. We got silence for the ones who thought they could find me. If you're complacent to the words of a racist, don't you dare complain with. That's what's leading your nation. Send in the clowns. They're black facing, they're locking their cousins, they're locking their brothers, but they ain't leaving the station. The date's changing.
In the middle, in the middle, in the middle of a dream. I lost my shirt, I pawned my rings. I've done all the dumb things.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the keys and drums, Mr. John, Mr. Paul Bartlett, aka 6'4". On the guitar, my brother Dan Sully. And to my right, Mr. Paul Kelly. Yeah, them dumb things lumped in, looking for peace but won't find it. They holding us back from closing the gap by keeping them closed-minded. See, no surprises there. Hearing both of them sirens blare. Them coppers where I'm from are kind of fair. If you kind of fair,
What's a world commission? To the ones who live on a mission, to the ones that's killed by the system, or the ones that's meant to assist them. At the hands of policemen, who's gonna police them? They're killing us coolies that got it on footage. They need to release them.
In the middle, in the middle,
outlet. My brother dance on. Mr. Paul Kelly.
In the middle, in the middle, in the middle of a dream. I lost my shirt, I pawned my ring. I've done all that dumb things. Yeah, I melted wax to fix my wings. Threw my hat into the ring. I thought that I just had to sing. I've done all the dumb things.
Nice one. Dumb things. I think I like that. It's funny. I like a lot of the like a version songs. I like actually more than the originals. Quite a few of them.
I like anything Paul Kelly does as well.
Yeah, that's true. Getting back to the water, though, peoples. They say this report more than half the world's food production will be at risk of failure within the next 25 years as a rapidly accelerating water crisis grips the planet. Unless urgent action is taken to conserve water resources and end the destruction of the ecosystems on which our fresh water depends. Of course, that's not going to happen. It's business as usual. What were those? What was that quote saying, Cass, about the biggest problems we have to overcome is apathy and greed and selfishness. Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. So your common cotton shirt now is going to be worth a fortune.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, and this report, which goes almost to 200 pages, they're saying that more than 2 billion people lack access to safe drinking water. 3.6 billion people, that's 44% of the population, lack access to safe sanitation. And every day, over 1,000 children die from lack of access to safe water. Demand for the fresh water is expected to outstrip its supply by 40% by the end of this decade, in 6 years. And it's worsening. And then they say, well, it's going to shave off about 8 to 10% of global GDP, with poor countries facing 15% loss of GDP. Over half of the world's food production comes from areas experiencing unstable trends in water availability. And of course, there is no coordinated global effort to address this, and there probably won't be.
That's true. I'd heard in, like in India, I heard a report, I think it was on the ABC, and they were talking about the salt farmers in India, and their problem was because of the change in the climate and the increase in the humidity and the changing of the season is that they were just not able to produce the same amount of salt, be able to harvest from the lakes the same amount of salt. So
I think it's going to be like that with a lot of
Oh, yeah.
industries. With
Absolutely.
farming especially.
Yeah.
And I think, as we know, like things like beef, which takes a lot of water,
A lot of resources.
What about all
going to be a
with
lot.
the Murray when
Yeah.
down that way? That was
Yeah.
a lot of
That was
farmers.
Barnaby Joyce, remember? He was in charge of that. He was sending little texts to ScoMo saying, everything's cool, don't worry about it, bro. Yeah. And of course, the climate breakdown is intensifying water scarcity.
What about from the ocean
Desalination takes heaps amount of energy to do that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, that's the whole thing. It's an energy problem.
Yeah. No, I also think, why don't they put, like the wind turbines, I know they've got them, I think they're in WA in the ocean.
Yeah.
Get more of those around. I mean, look at the...
But of course, Kat, if you have been listening to the show before, you would know that all that green so-called sustainable energy, it's not sustainable.
It's not so green
because, you know,
anyway.
they have a lifespan, they die, you've got to build
Yeah,
more. It's not
yeah.
sustainable. That all takes minerals, which you have to mine.
Yeah.
You know, which takes forests you have to chop down to mine the minerals. And we don't even have enough minerals to
Yeah.
make all the batteries and all the turbines and stuff, even if we wanted to. But back to the climate breakdown affecting the world's hydrological systems. In some areas, of course, they're facing severe disruptions, but even collapse. I mean, they had droughts and bushfires in the Amazon. Floods in Europe. Remember those floods in, was it Valencia in Spain?
Yeah.
And they had them in Germany the year
A
before.
few weeks ago.
Yeah. And Asia.
Yeah.
The glacier melting in the
Stuff
mountains.
happening everywhere.
Flooding, droughts are all examples of the impacts of extreme weather that are likely to get worse in the near future. People's overuse of water is also worsening the climate crisis. For example, by draining carbon-rich peatlands and wetlands that then release carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And the other thing too is water is artificially cheap for some and too expensive for others. Subsidies for agriculture around the world often have unintended consequences for water, providing perverse incentives for farmers to over-irrigate their crops or use water wastefully. Industries also have their water use subsidised or their pollution ignored in many countries. Meanwhile, all the poor people in developing countries frequently pay a high price for water or can only access dirty water. It's a pretty dismal outlook for the freshwater situation.
I think, did you also see that article, the other article that was on near-term human extinction about the first summer on record that melts practically all of the Arctic sea ice?
Yes.
An ominous milestone for the planet.
That's right. I did mention
Could
that.
occur
Yeah, I know.
2027.
2027. I know. It's not far. And, you know, people keep banging on about the COP and all that 29 and all that rubbish. And, you know, the Paris Agreement, which was 1.5, we've gone past 1.5. We're going to go past 2 because there's feedback loops. Like once the Arctic ice is gone, then that absorbs more heat. The dark ocean absorbs more heat instead of reflecting it back. So then it just makes things worse. It's the exponential curve, Kat. There's a great quote from some great thinker who says
My
that
head's just spinning.
some thinker said the worst human failing, the greatest human failing, is not understanding the exponential function, which is the curve like that.
Yeah. Well, I didn't understand it because I thought, oh, okay, if they're melting, then that's just going to add more water
Yeah,
into the ocean.
I know.
And I was thinking, well, we'll end up with getting.
Well, there's more water coming into the atmosphere every year. I think it's increasing
it
by about 3 or
change
4%. But that's why you have floods. That's why you have these massive cyclones and hurricanes and, you know, and the farmers, they want rain, but they don't want, you know, a torrential downpour that washes away their crops. They just want, you know, the regular general rain that we used to have. All right, what song are we going to have next, Kat?
You've
got some good ones.
The Clash.
The Clash.
Rock the Casbah.
Yes.
Sharif, don't like it.
I don't mind a little bit of punk. Excellent.
Rock the Casbah.
All right, people, here we got The Clash with
That's a
Rock the
goodie,
Casbah.
Top. The shaky drove his Cadillac. He went cruising down the hill. The prison was standing on the radiator grill. Sharif don't like it. Rock the Casbah, rock the Casbah. Sharif don't like it. Rock the Casbah. By order of the prophet,
as the wind changed direction and the temple began to fire. The crowd gonna will like crazy get the fire. Cockpit radio player. Soon as the Shireen's out of their hair, the jet pilots wail. Shireen don't like it. Rock the Casbah, the Shireen don't like it. Rock the Casbah, the Shireen don't like it. Thinks it's not kosher. Rock the Casbah.
The Clash. I think that could be from the 70s, actually, Rock the Casbah, or was that just the early
That
80s?
was one of their newest songs.
Oh, okay, then it's the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they did start in the 70s. Yeah, good old Clash. You're listening to 93.7 Edge FM. It is 7 to 8, and I think it might be time for another message from our lovely sponsors at Better Home Living.
Better Home Living Bega is the only place to shop for all your electrical appliances. With a huge showroom boasting a great range of white goods, televisions, small appliances, and a fantastic cooking showroom with all the big brands. Plus, they're also an Apple reseller and Weber barbecue specialist and a J-Car stockist. Call in and see the experienced staff or shop online at better.com.au. Better Home Living Bega, 95 Auckland Street, Bega. Proud sponsors of Edge FM.
Thank you, dear sponsors. And you're listening to Music for the End of the World. I'm Chris, and my guests are Kat and Cass. And what are people listening to, Kat?
93.7 Edge FM.
Yes, very nice. That's our promo.
DJ Chris.
That's right. Bega Valley Community Radio. Now, every week I always play, I forgot to tell you, but I always play a song from my current favourite band, which is the Gimme Gimmes. And this one I'm going to be playing is, they do hundreds of songs. I don't know if you listen to many, but this one is, I think this is from a James Bond movie.
Where are they from?
American. Okay. We saw them actually, a month ago maybe, in Canberra.
Yep.
At the Baso. Great gig. Really good gig. Got to meet them backstage. This is Nobody Does It Better. Is that from James Bond movie?
Let me hear it and then I'll tell you.
All right, here we go. Me first, the Gimme Gimmes.
I'll Google
Nobody does
does
it
it better.
better.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it half as good as you. Baby, you're the best. I wasn't looking, somehow you found me. I tried to hide from your love light, like heaven above me, the spire above me. It's keeping all my secrets safe tonight, and nobody does it better.
Oh, yes. The Gimmies. They're cracking band,
I've
cracking
heard the
band.
song before.
Cover band, but very, very good. All right, Kat. So, of course, we're coming up to 8 o'clock, so we're coming up to the end of the show, folks. But
Okay.
I always ask every guest that comes in, Kat, how are you dealing with collapse? Your own personal journey.
Look, I just feel like I just do my own little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to get depressed about anything. Let it get me down. You know, for a while there, I had a lot of people in my ear about everything, and it started to really freak me out.
Yeah, well, it does freak you out. That's right.
2012, I took my daughter to Guatemala
Uh-huh.
to find out about the Mayan calendar because I was so worried it was going to be the end of the world then, and we're still here. So after that, I am.
Well, when we say the end of the world, of course, we don't mean on the 3rd of November or something. It's more of a gradual process.
I know. It's just, you know, as long as we play do the right thing, and yeah, like the water, and just everything, you know, and try and teach people that don't understand without trying to jam it down their throat and make them not want to run away.
But I think you're still taking a little bit of the hopium, though, I reckon.
I've got
Judging from you, you're still holding out a little bit of hope that somehow or other we can
but
turn
if
this
I've
bus,
got-
which is going towards the cliff,
I've
around.
got grandchildren. And
Yeah, me too.
I fear for them because I think
Well.
if I hadn't had any children by now, which I'm
Yeah.
too old now, but I wouldn't have any if I was at that age now.
No, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't be bringing kids into this world
No.
now.
No, well, I mean, they're not
And
going to
I
live long,
worry
so.
about my grandkids, what they're going to have to deal with.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right.
But it's So, and I can see why
I
more
know.
people are choosing not to have kids anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes, it takes a while. It took me years to get my head around it. I'm pretty cool with it now. You know, like I've come to terms with it, and I've talked to a lot of people who have gone through it. But it is a hard mental process.
Upsetting with
It's
the
very
brands,
upsetting.
Just the big companies you see, and it's all about money and power. And even the other day, I heard like these lotteries going on. I don't understand. There's these lotteries. People are winning over $100 million. Even that, I can't understand how.
That's part of it, yeah.
People are giving away $100 million to one person.
Wealth inequality,
And that sort
yeah.
of does my head in a bit. I think that more than half of that money could really. Why can't they just give people $1 million each and help them? Like,
That's right.
I don't. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it is.
It's too much for my leg to deal with.
But if you want to keep up to breast with it, people keep tuning in every Wednesday, 7 to 8, Music for the End of the World, where we talk all things collapse. Because we are in collapse right now, if you didn't know.
It's the end of the world, but it's positive.
Well, we're still here
Trying
at
to
the
do.
moment. Yeah. And remember, keep building those community relationships, think locally, and as Just Collapse always say, collapse is inevitable, but justice is not.
Can I just say about
Yeah,
my
sure.
Christmas tree?
Talk about your Christmas tree, Kat.
Look, I had this great idea the other day because I saw a friend in the supermarket. She said she'd been and bought a tree for $160, young family.
Wow.
And I came home and said to my partner, let's chop down the trees in the paddock and we can sell them. And then we went down and we only really had 2 that were worthy of chopping. They're a bit weird looking. They're like the odd bunch.
Uh-huh.
But one of them is pretty cool. And it's sitting there and I'd like to give it away if someone wants a Christmas tree, hit me up on my Instagram. If you don't do Instagram, how can they contact me?
Messenger?
Facebook?
Facebook?
Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Oh, Katrina Walsh Photography?
Katrina Walsh Photography. Look up Katrina Walsh Photography.
Yeah. So I've got
If you're looking for a Christmas tree and
Instagram,
you can't
Katrina
afford
Walsh
$160, who can?
Hey, if you want a real Christmas tree and you don't want to chop it down, or if your mum would really like to have a real tree in a house, it's not massive. One side is a bit short, so it's perfect to go against the wall. But
Lovely.
it's nice.
All right. Thank you, Kat.
That's all right.
And on that cheery note, we're going to finish with a song for Bees.
Nice being here too. It was
Thank
great.
you.
I can come back again. and
Of
play
course,
with
I hope so. Bees, Mad Surfer, who was surfing the
Urban Surf. I remember
Urban
what it
Surf.
was now.
Although, if I spoke to him, I reckon he would prefer the
Oh,
swells off Pambula or
Yeah,
somewhere, or
definitely
Tathra.
towards the ocean.
Yeah. Anyway, this song's for you, Bees, bro. Everlast. And What's It Like? Do you know that song, Kat, by Everlast?
It's not. It's I don't know the song.
Oh, okay.
The guy has got a great voice.
Okay,
He's got
all
a
right.
really deep voice.
All right, well, here's a song by Everlast for you,
I just don't know
bees.
the name of this song, so you can just pick
What's it
anyone.
like? And we'll see you all next week. Take
See
care,
you, everybody.
people.
We've all seen the man at the liquor store begging for your change. The hair on his face is dirty, dreadlocked in for the main. He asked the man for what he could spare with shame in his eyes. Get a job, you fucking slobs, all he replied. God forbid you ever had to walk a mile in his shoes. Then you really might know what it's like to sing the blues. Yeah, then you really might know what it's like. Yeah, then you really might know what it's like. Yeah, then you really might know what it's like. Yeah, then you really might know what it's like. Mary got pregnant from a kid named Tom, said he was in love. Said, don't worry about a thing, baby doll, I'm the man you've been dreaming of. But 3 months later, he said he won't date or return her call. And she swear, goddamn, if I find that man cutting off his balls. And then she heads for the clinic and she gets some static walking through the door. They call her a killer, and they call her a sinner, and they call her a whore. God forbid you ever had to walk a mile in her shoes. 'Cause then you really might know what it's like to have to choose. Then you really might know what it's like. 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 I seen a rich man beg, I seen a good man sin, I seen a tough man cry. I seen a loser win and a sad man grin, I heard an honest man lie. I seen the good side of bad and the downside of up and everything between. I licked the silver spoon, drank from the golden cup, and smoked the finest green. I stroked the baddest dimes these couple of times before I broke their heart. You know where it ends, yo, it usually depends on where you start. I knew this kid named Max, he used to get fat stacks out on the corner with drugs. He liked to hang out late, he liked to get shit-faced to keep the pace with thugs. Until late one night there was a big gunfight and